welcome director Mr. Christopher McQuarrie, Ethan Hunt, Mr. Tom Cruise.
I just want to say thank you all very much again for having me. I feel very honored to be here today and to always come and visit your extraordinary country. And McHugh and I, we just finished the film 2 weeks ago, and we're very excited to share it with the Japanese audience, and very grateful. Thank you.
It's an honor to be back in Japan. We love coming here. We love the warm welcome we receive every time we come, and we're just happy to be back here. Thank you all.
No, it's not that I don't feel the fear. I guess at times I don't mind feeling it as much. But the Airbus, I mean, it was very intense. And I remember going down the runway the very first time. You know, we spend months going through these things also, and figuring it out and trying to make it as safe as possible, but they are stunts. And I remember going down the runway the first take. First of all, I mean, you know, we're thinking about story and we're thinking about entertaining an audience. And he came to me with this idea of hanging off the side of the A400, the Airbus A400.
I was joking when I first said it.
I remember saying, oh, that could be fun.
And right before I left, Tom, who's holding onto the plane like this, and he's screaming as loudly as he can because the engines are roaring. It's so loud outside. And he said, remember, if it looks like I'm panicking, it's because I'm acting. Don't cut. So I walked back to get on the plane and realized there was no way that I could distinguish between panicking and a great performance. So I just said action and waited to see what happened next.
So the plane starts down the runway, and then it started going faster and faster. And then I thought, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But we ended up doing it 8 times. We got all our coverage and everything turned out, thankfully, well, so that we could entertain the audience. I never have. No, this has been the hottest it's ever been. Hottest it's ever been. I don't mind the heat. I'm glad you enjoyed the film. Well, I like the heat. It doesn't bother me. Many more. We're already talking about it. We spend a lot of time just talking about story and different things that would be fun to film and how we're going to do it. But I can't talk about it now. You're going to have to wait and see.
I'm being very careful not to make jokes. Very serious.
Yeah. First of all, it was the first film I ever produced. And it was interesting because at that time, it was an old TV series. I loved it. I grew up watching it. And I particularly loved Lalo Schifrin's theme music. So I remember people thinking, like, what is he doing, a TV series? And it's been an extraordinary experience for me because I learned a lot every time I go to produce a mission film. And it satisfies something, I think, in me, which is something where I've wanted to travel and work in different countries. You know, I've been someone who very much has been, you know, wanting to go and travel for my movies, more for personal reasons, to travel and see and understand film and in different cultures. And Mission allows me to have a series that I can go and work in different countries. I can go and have this, have filmmakers come and work on a very broad and big film. You know, it's very complicated. They're very challenging films to make, very challenging films to produce. And I can give an audience a big, entertaining film that has, you know, suspense and action and comedy and practical action that I always wanted to do. And it just really satisfies. So it's something that's been incredibly satisfying. And this is the second one. I mean, Chris was an uncredited writer on Ghost Protocol, and and he was really even more than that. And I just love working on story and structure with him, and I love being directed by him as an actor. And you know, for me, when I don't make a movie just to make a movie, I love the people that I work with, the whole crew, and making these films. If you're looking at it on every level, it's challenging every aspect of every single department, and they're very satisfying. And I feel very privileged to be able to do it. And it's kind of amazing that I'm here in Japan, you know, for the fifth one. I feel really privileged and very grateful.
For me personally, it's a sort of wish fulfillment. When you look at all the films together, Ethan Hunt can levitate, he can fly, he can become invisible, he can climb walls. But he's always aided by some technology that makes it feel very real. He does super things, but he's not superhuman. And what Tom and I talked about from the very beginning, when we first worked on the last film together, Tom's only rule was Ethan Hunt doesn't want to do any of the things that he does. He's not a daredevil. He's not a superhero. And so the trick is to always create a situation that forces Ethan to have to do these crazy things that he does. And that makes these movies very difficult to write. They're very deceptive, and they have a mind of their own. Tom and I always start with a very clear plan of where we want to go. Mission Impossible says, no, you're going this way. So it's always different, and it's never quite what we expected when we first started out. So that on the one hand, that makes it very challenging to make these movies, because we don't quite know where we're going sometimes when we're going there. But the benefit is we sometimes are just as surprised as the audience.
That'd be fun. Maybe one day we will. I would like that. If people tolerate the traffic for us, because we'll close down certain streets. That will be your decision, because the hallmark of a mission are the locations. And the wonderful thing is that it is that help that we need from the cities, the communities, and the countries to ensure it's truly something spectacular. So how many streets will I be allowed to close down?
Can we do it in the spring or the fall?
ではまずは真ん中に集まっているカメラをご覧ください。Could you please look at the center cameras first, please? Again, movie cameras,
Thank you.
please. はい、どうもありがとうございま
Thank
し
you
た。
so much.
以上をもちまして、来記者会見終了となります。トップクルーズさんでした。